So I have something very special for you guys today. So everybody in the agency game should love this video, if I'm going to be honest. This is 2 hours of appointment booking systems taken directly from my agency. So if you don't know me, my name is Joe. I've scaled my agency personally to 40 grand a month. And in this video, I'll be literally walking you through every single thing I do for appointment booking. I'll take you through how to think about appointment booking, how to actually set up the systems it takes for appointment booking, how to bypass gatekeepers, and even more. As well with this, literally every single document I'm walking you through in this video will be found in the description. So you can just access it right there. Just make a copy of it if you want. 2-hour video, and nobody is making this type of content. So I really hope you find some value in it. I hope you enjoy it. And I hope you go through it and understand it and apply this to your business. So good luck, and I'll see you later. Goodbye.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to the first module of our appointment booking course. And this course is honestly the course I'd recommend for anybody who's beginning in SMMA, right? So in SMMA, obviously, we need appointments, and what these appointments are just sales calls and getting people on a platform. So usually it's Zoom or, let's say, Google Meet, and we're trying to sell people on our service. But one of the biggest problems people see, like starting off in SMA, is honestly just getting those appointments, because obviously we need to get people interested in our service and get on a call with us for us to sell them on the service, right? So super simple stuff. So this is the theory behind everything in leverage acquisition and what will be coming in leverage acquisition. So this right here is honestly the groundwork, the framework, the bedrock of everything else we're going to do. So everything in this whole course, this community, is going to be based off this one doc. So it's very important that you don't skip this. I know your attention spans are everywhere nowadays, same with me. But if you can take my advice for anything, just listen to me for these next 6 or so videos, this module, because it's going to be unbelievably important. So let's start off with the theory of appointment booking. The game of business is purely about solving people's problems. Anybody who has really experienced problems in their life can realize that these problems result in pain in the present moment, right? If I'm hungry, I feel hunger and I want to get some food. If I don't have enough money, I'm pissed off at myself and I'm in a bad mood because I don't have enough money. These are problems we face on a day-to-day basis, right? So what is an offer then? Because in order to reach out to prospects and get them on a call with us, we have to have something to offer them, to sell them, because if we don't, then what's the point? Our aim of the offer is to provide a no-brainer opportunity for a prospect to sign with us. That's what offer is. Because we have to have the offer to bring on the sales call to present to them. So let's talk about how to create an offer, an effective offer. First of all, this is just a little diagram I've made. They're little high-quality drawings, as you can see. So this prospect is in a painful situation. Our core offer brings them from their current painful situation to a painless future situation where that problem is solved. And some offers may solve many problems that are all important problems. The more problems you solve, the more valuable the offer is. The more pain you solve, right? Because remember, problems create pain in the present moment. This is why they're buying. It's not to solve a problem. It's to solve the pain, right, that is caused by the problem. So what I'm going to introduce to you here is what's called the value equation. So what we want to do when we're creating offers is we want to maximize dream outcome. So what does that mean? The dream outcome is the situation where you're going to bring them through from their current situation to something different that our core offer takes them to through a certain process, right? So as an example, if someone came up to you and offered $5 or $25, which one would you take? Anybody would take $25. It's the exact same thing, right? If we promise people better outcomes, they will be more receptive to it. It's like, go for a 5K run right now, and I'll pay you $5 or $25. If you're on the comfortable side and you don't really need $5, you will go for the run. But if you really, really need the $5 and you really want the $25, you'll go for the run, right? So a prospect faced with the decision of two agencies and they're promising better outcomes with the same processes, they're going to always go for the offer with the better process or the better promise, right? This puts you at an advantage when you actually can take them to a dream state that is better than other agencies, because they will trust and believe you can deliver that outcome with a promise, right? So we're maximizing the dream outcome if we can. And quick note, don't overstate or lie about the dream outcome you're going to get them, because we want to have realistic offers and we don't want to sign them on the agency and then have them disappointed in the future, because that's something we want to avoid. We obviously want to give a good customer experience. That's just really a bedrock thing in business as well as a great customer experience. So unmet expectations, in summary, equals disappointment, right? So every single topic I'm going to cover on this doc, I'm going to make a offer with it, right? So this is a gym niche offer. So with the dream outcome, right? We promise 90 members for your gym with our program, let's say. We're promising a dream outcome, it's 90 members, right? And this might be realistic, it might not be realistic. It's just a dream outcome, and it's for you to actually see what other agencies are doing around you at your level that you can learn from and really get an idea what you can achieve with the service. So solve worthwhile problems, because the problems worth solving, they'll be in a better situation and it'll get them to the dream outcome they need, because we're removing them from the current situation again. So next is minimize time to success. So an offer that has an exact time frame associated sets clear expectations for prospects with the least amount of time to get something is the most attractive to everyone, right? So if I told you you have to wait 5 minutes to get $500 to do this thing, let's say, if you do this thing in then 5 minutes to get $500, perfect. You do this thing and you have to wait a year to get $500, which one's better? Quite obvious. So if you have the same offer, right, with two agencies, but one gets the results shorter, everybody's instant gratification creatures. They're going to all want the offer instantly. They're going to want it as soon as possible, right? So ask yourself when you're creating your offer, how can you deliver your service in the shortest amount of time? Can you onboard the clients faster? Can you automate anything? And there's a saying that goes, money loves speed. That's entirely true, right? So try to get results as quick as possible because they will be happy. Next is, as an example here, again, we promised 90 members for your gym in 90 days. So now you have a time frame associated with the offer. So next, let's go maximize perceived likelihood of success, right? So maximize it. And again, ask yourself, how risky is the investment? If you don't deliver your promises, what is actually going to happen to the prospect? Will they be out a few $1,000s, like extremely happy, or is there a risk reversal that we can actually turn to? A few great risk reversals we can use is one, a money back guarantee, offering a full refund if the customer isn't satisfied with the product or the service in the specific time frame, right? So if they don't get 90 members for the gym in 90 days, we'll refund them. Better than money back guarantees. You take the exact same thing, but then you one-up it. So if you don't get 90 members in 90 days for your gym, not only will we refund you, but we'll also send you $500 more, right? So it's just, if you don't perform, you're refunding them, so that there's no worry. And since they took the time out of their day or their life to invest in the service and you wasted their time, you can send the $500 back. Next is, you can do a free trial of the service. So if they're not sure of investing in your service, in your product, you can get them to commit to a 2-week free trial, or 1 week or a month, whatever you like, to get them to actually try your service before they commit to it. So they actually experience what it's going to be like with your service before they pay anything to you. This might include them paying ad spend for a few weeks and then you running the ads. Or if it's like a fitness offer, you can do something like, I'll coach you for 2 weeks before you start paying me. So you can really apply this to anything. Notice how a lot of products have free trials before you start up. So same thing, it's just for you to experience the offer before you start it. Next is working for free. So offering to work for free if they don't hit the promised outcome within the promised time, right? So this could be literally continuing you running the ads for them after the time frame until they hit a certain outcome, right? So if they don't hit 90 members in 90 days for the gym, going back to the gym, they will work completely for free, and you'll start paying their ad spend, which they're paying for, until you get them the members. So again, look at this offer. We have the time frame, we have the dream outcome, and we will work completely for free until you get the actual outcome. One of the most important ways here, guys, to make sure that they think you're actually getting the outcome is showing other people getting the desired result. This is why case studies and testimonies are all over courses, agencies, everything. People having a really good experience with things. And this is social proof. If you are interested in learning about social proof, I've linked what social proof is. You can see it right here. One of the biggest tenets of persuasion is social proof. I'd recommend reading this because we're naturally herd animals. If you see someone starting to panic in the street, randomly looking at something, you might get your heart rate up. Go, what the hell are they panicking about, right? So social proof is very important. So if we see other people getting amazing results, we're going to think you're going to get amazing results when you're signing for the service as well. Minimize effort and sacrifice. So a great selling point for a done-for-you agency. So we're doing everything for them. That's what a done-for-you agency is that's unbelievably low effort. Right? So it's unbelievably appealing for a prospect just to sit back and do nothing and seeing money basically appear in their pockets, right? And them just fulfilling the service that they need to fulfill. It's like a gym, signing up for the gym membership, just got attracted to the ad and walked into the gym. And the gym owner just got the person in the door and then made money. If that's all they have to do, that's a really, really good offer, right? If the gym owner has to manage the CRM, and then run the ads themselves, and then follow up the leads themselves, that's a less appealing offer because they have to do so much work. So by minimizing all these things that the person needs to do when they sign up with us for our offer, it makes it very easy for them to say yes because they have so much less work to do. Super simple. So this is explained by the law of least resistance. I've linked an article to this as well. The law of least effort, right here. Animals, well-designed machines naturally choose the path of least resistance or effort. So very, very important that we talk about the law of least resistance here. So a lot of my friends, a lot of my agency friends are all amazing at automating things, right? So anything a person can do and can be automated, but they just don't know how to automate, then automate it for them. It's saving you so much time. So softwares like this include Go High Level and Zapier. These are great just to actually automate everything for your agency. Very, very good. So try to take, in summary, as many things off of the client's shoulders as possible and either automate it or if you can onto your shoulders if you're getting your first few clients here. So finalize gym niche offer example. We promise 90 members for your gym in 90 days, or we work completely for free until you get them. On top of this all, we'll handle absolutely everything, including lead nurturing, follow-ups, and appointment booking. All you have to do is simply let the members walk through your door. So notice how I said we're handling everything, and all they have to do is let the members walk through the door. It's a very attractive offer. If I was a gym owner, I'd take that. With the solid pricing structure, I'd take that 100%. So I just did 2 diagrams here where, again, we're contrasting their current painful situation with one that's a future painless situation. And we have 2 paths. We have one that is a rocky road and they're going up and down and up and down. It's longer, it's more annoying. And then we have one that's just walking straight. Obviously, we're going to want to walk straight every time, and it's more attractive. That's what we should aim to do. Just super easy service, super easy to understand, super easy for them, and they just make money. So with all this being reviewed, we can now put this into a full equation where we maximize the top bracket and minimize the bottom one. And I use this equation with everything in business. It worked for me very, very well. So if you internalize this, you'll do quite well. So this is the equation. Again, we're maximizing the dream outcome. We're maximizing the perceived likelihood of achievement with them signing up for the program. We're minimizing the time delay, and we're minimizing the effort and sacrifice with it. Lastly, with offer creation, a bonus is a side component of an offer that, as a rule of thumb, should be more valuable than the core thing. Some guidelines on creating bonuses include: present the bonuses after the price is set. Stack bonuses instead of discounts to get them to say yes, because we want to make, again, if you're an agency owner, I assume you want to make money and deliver a great service. If you want to have a higher chance of signing them, stack bonuses instead of discounting your service, because it's better to charge more money and deliver amazing service than charge less and then do least not a good job, right? Not a good job at all. Tell them how it relates to their issue, what it is, what it'll do for them, how specifically improve their lives or make their experience better, faster, easier, less effort sacrifice, all those things. Provide some proof, right? So you can go through these. These are just really some really important things when you're presenting bonuses. Super easy. So notice, again, coming back to the first example, all these value equation examples are designed to ensure the prospect avoids a painful situation and actually gets them to their dream state. It adds the safety aspect that the prospect will get there, and they'll know how they will get there. And they don't have to put any effort in, and they'll get all the bonuses to relieve more of their pain. So now we're done that. How do we create offers as a beginner? Then how do we create offers as an experienced agency owner? And we'll talk about some more things here, right? So for beginners, they're usually very weak in one of our key components of creating an offer: perceived likelihood of achievement, right? So you don't have proof that your thing works. Again, social proof, coming back to it. Very important that we have proof that our thing works. Very important. So the beginning agency owner does not have any idea that their thing works. So what I like to do is as a beginner, work with clients with a low setup fee or for a few $100s that allows you to learn how to deliver your service and get an idea of the results that you'll get for them. Then you can start collecting testimonials as soon as you can with very, very little risk for you because they haven't paid much or anything. So, quick diagram. You get the prospect, use the system, then you get a testimonial, and then you increase the setup fee because you have more social proof and you know your thing works. Without the social proof and without any idea that it works, so I recommend a really, really low setup fee. As you get more testimonials, more social proof, the more results that you get, the more ideas that you get that your thing works, the setup fee increases. Super important. It's exactly how I scaled my agency. More social proof, higher prices. More social proof, higher prices. Better service, higher prices. These results allow you to boost your perceived likelihood of achievement after your first few clients because you now deliver a guarantee around the offer and stack social proof since you actually have an idea of what you've delivered. The two actions massively build trust and authority for your service. As prospects, seeing testimonial and guarantees surrounding your offer can change things massively, right? Social proof and guarantees stack trust and believability. So I talked about either having a really low setup fee or a few $100 setup fee. What are the pros and cons with that? So pros of no setup fee is it's really easy to sign clients. There's little to no resistance when you're selling them on the price. It allows you to have really no risk on their side when joining the agency. You can learn the ropes of service delivery. It's easier to get prospects into sales calls when they're doing outreach, knowing that there's nothing up front. Cons is there's zero commitment, so they can just leave you and ghost you, right? And all of your effort can just be wasted like that. And you may have lower quality prospects signing up because anyone can join your program regardless of how good they are. Because if they're better, they will have money to invest because they're good at their job. If it's a business, then the better they are, the more money they're going to make. With a small setup fee, the pros, that there's commitment on their side, so you won't ghost you. Again, higher quality prospects because they're willing to invest in themselves and their career. So they're actively looking to get better. They're actively looking to spend more money to make more money. The cons, hard to get prospects on sales calls. You'll face more objections surrounding the upfront fee. And it's just a little hard to getting clients on because obviously they're paying more money, so it's hard to get them on. And there's more risk on your side when learning service delivery because they'll actually expect good results from the money that they invest in the systems. They'll expect results either way, but obviously the more money they pay, the higher quality you think it is, and the more results you should deliver. Should be delivering good results anyway, don't get me wrong, but they'll expect probably better results if they invest money up front because they're more anxious to get the result because they've committed to it. So internalize that, kind of look at each side, and decide if you'd like to do a setup fee or not for your performance-based offer. So I don't want to make this decision for you. I don't like people telling you, do this, do that, do this, do that, because it's very dogmatic. And then whatever I tell you, everybody in the community is going to be doing. So we want to go different routes, and then from that feedback, we can iterate and edit what I tell you guys and see who's performing well and not. But we don't want to be telling everybody the same thing, because everybody's going to be doing the same thing with the same scripts, the same offer, and then that gets saturated quick, and then everybody's going to hear about that, and then you won't get as good results because everybody's doing the same thing and they're going to be sick of you. So both work here, small setup fee, no setup fee. It's just what challenges you want to face with it. Again, like connecting this to another idea, many SMA niches work. Like, this is off topic, but I just wanted to add this. But there's just challenges and pros with every niche. They're all different, right? So real estate has pros and cons. Gyms has pros and cons. Just depends on what exactly you want to face. What pros you want to face and what cons you want to face. As long as the niche is growing and they're not losing money every year, they'll be fine, right? And they have money to invest. That's all you need. So, getting back to the document. After you decide the setup fee, it's time to structure the other side of your offer. And I call this the performance side of the offer. Because there's a setup fee, and then everything after the setup fee, I like calling the performance offer, because you're getting paid after the setup fee. So, it's time to structure the offer. First, I'll give a real estate example of a typical client of their job, right? So, I'm going to get you to define this in a second, but I'll quickly explain the buyer's process and the realtor's process through the systems. So a lead opts into a landing page, the appointment gets booked, and then a listing gets listed, and then a deal goes through. So that's the buyer's journey, right? That's the process they go through a real estate agent. And this is really important for you to know exactly what your niche's buyer's journey is, right? So the further you go down this sales process with the performance offer, the less risk it is on the prospect's behalf, because they're closer to buying. If the lead comes in, it's less safe than if it's a listing, because a listing, they're one step away from buying, and a lead, they're they're three, sorry. But you get the idea. The closer they are to buying, the safer the offer is. As another example quickly, if I get paid for a gym agency, let's say, when a lead opts into the ad as an appointment, let's say, they book an appointment, I get paid. Versus they go to the gym, they take the class, and they sign up to the gym, and then the owner gets paid. What's more risky? It's the lead, because they didn't even get to the gym, and you don't even know if they're going to show up to the gym. But if you're getting paid every time the deal closes, or this person gets signed, then they're making money and you're getting paid. Super safe. So the further you go down it, again, the more safe it is. So again, let's just put a name to it. We'll call it the risk ladder, with the lead going through the process. So there's a button to make a copy of this doc at the top, right here. So you just click it and make a copy. So what I want you to do is go back down here, and I want you to just type out what your risk ladder is with your niche. So for gyms, this could be lead, booked appointment at the gym, class taken, then membership bought. And then next could be like retention with every month that they sign. This is all very different for every single niche. Very, very different. So if there's more steps here, add them. But I want you to fill in with your niche that you have exactly what the steps are. So let's talk about an experienced agency owner. So again, social proof is a big component of this. With more testimonials, more social proof, more company authority, and a much better sales process, because they've been selling for months and months and months. Much easier to charge more, with way more of it up front, because there's much more trust that they'll get the result they want. So I just used some examples, testimonials from really big agencies. So this is Imperium, this is Estate AI, super big companies. And then they can charge more with less hesitation, because they've been doing this for months or years. They have all of these client results that the realtors see or the agency owners see, and just lists and lists and lists of them, right? Because they're so big, so many results. So they have more experience delivering results as well. So they have so many results to refer to if the person asks about them. And they can also use guarantees to increase the perceived likelihood of achievement in our value equation, because they know what result they're going to get the person, right? If you have a weight loss example and you're a weight loss coach, sure, this is an agency example, but I just want to give you an idea. If you're a weight loss coach and you usually get your clients to lose 10 pounds on your coaching program, then you can start making guarantee around them losing 10 pounds, because you know what's going to happen. You've done it dozens of times. So some experienced agency owners might even do a high setup fee and then also a performance offer. This is very dependent on the feedback from the niche and how the offer actually resonates with the person, right? So go through this. I want you to create the offer with that ladder I mentioned. And if you're starting off, try to put your performance and you getting paid further down the ladder, right before they're getting paid probably, and then figure out if you want to do a set fee or not. Both have their challenges, both have their pros. And yeah, I hope you like the first module. I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Welcome back, everybody. This is the second module in the course for solving appointment booking, and you should be watching this after the first one. Don't skip that. That's important. Theory is very important for everything else we're going to be doing. That's practical in the course, so watch that first. So now we have the offer, hopefully, that you've created, and now we need to reach out to people to let them know that we have an offer. So when we're creating outreach methods, we want to keep the same themes, different delivery styles, right? So what does outreach mean? We're reaching out. That's all it is, right? This could be a variety of forms. This could be one-to-one, a cold lead. So cold lead means that you've never talked to them before. They know nothing about you. Like they just talked to you for the first time on a call or an email or something like that. A warm lead is you're friends with them or you've interacted with them before. They've told you they're going to buy before. All these things. So we need to cold outreach people that don't even know we exist to get them interested in the service, right? So how do we stand out in cold outreach? What do we do for cold outreach? This is what this module is aimed at. So I did a little diagram. Pattern disrupts disrupt a pattern, obviously, right? So call number one, they get a call, they're not interested. Call number two, no thanks. Same thing. They get a different call. Now they're interested because it's a different call, and it's better call, right? So the most important thing that we need to do when we're doing outreach is that we need to be different. We need to stand out. Our prospect gets dozens of the same calls every single week or day, and they usually, if they have the same thing as others, they'll either just say, not interested, bye, hang up, or they'll just hang up on you, right? So, when they hang up on you, and they get the same call every day, this means that it is saturated, right? So, all that saturated means is that it's really, really saturated with the same thing. If a niche was saturated, you wouldn't be able to sign clients because everybody's heard the same thing and they're sick of it. But all that you have to do when something's saturated is stand out, right? I went into the real estate niche when I started SMA. After a few months of SMA, sorry. And I got told, most saturated niche, you don't want to go in that niche. It's so hard, so difficult. When really, you just have to be different. Same thing with cold calls. You just have to be different. Same with cold email. You have to be different. So if people tell you something's saturated, you just have to be better and have to be different. So now we have that out of the way. So let's start with cold calls here. We need to have great tonality, a solid script, and a clear CTA. What do these mean? Great tonality is we don't want to be talking like we are depressed or sad. But also, we don't want to be talking like an overly enthusiastic car salesman. We want to be right down the middle. So, the best example that I can use for this or frame that you can use for yourself is think of talking to an old friend when you meet them the first time in a while. You've been comfortable with them past in your life, but you just see them for the first time in a while. Be like, hey man, how are you doing? Like, how's it going? Like, I haven't seen you in a while. How are things going? Right? Like, how have things been in California? Like, I haven't seen you in a while, man. Like, it's very, very just casual. So by us being casual on a cold call, when we should be, hello, is this Dr. like salesy? But we want to be casual. Don't be salesy. Don't be depressed like this. Hello, this is a cold call. Don't do that either. Right in the middle. And you might not know how to find the middle for the first few calls, but that just takes reps, just takes time. Until eventually you listen to yourself over and over and over cold calling, and you determine. Usually it's better to hear yourself from the outside instead of hear yourself talking. Like, if I listen to this after this, I'll probably think I sound stupid sometimes, and that's fine just because I'm judging myself differently than I'm talking right now. Everybody does that. Don't be afraid. It might sound cringe the first time you listen to yourself. I used to hate listening to myself until I get comfortable with it. So then listen to yourself after, see how your tonality is, then replay it back, and keep calling, and then try to aim for the tonality that you think was good when you heard the cold calls, right? Next, a solid script. Something that leverages our value equation with it. Because a script is useless, tonality is useless, the call to action is useless if the offer is horrible. Right? We can have the perfect script in the world and have a horrible offer, and the script won't work. The offer is the basis of everything. So a script that leverages our value equation that we went over last module, if you didn't watch it now. Perfect. Beautiful. This is what we want. A clear CTA, which is a call to action. It means we're calling them to do an action that we want them to do. That isn't too big of an ask for the prospect, that gets them over the edge to book in. So you call them, they're skeptical of you, they don't trust people calling them, but they get warmed up to you, you have a nice tonality, you have a solid script. But if you were to ask them, yeah, let's meet in California tomorrow when they're in Brampton, Canada, or Ontario, Canada, they're not going to do that because it's a massive ask. If you say, as an example, what about just a 5-minute Zoom call, just to tell you what it's about? Those are two different asks, and that's an extreme ask, but I want to demonstrate this contrast between that ask and this ask, right? So a CTA that is not too massive, but not like too small. Something that just gets them over the edge. So you'll notice I use all these factors in my script here. This is my exact real estate script that I use for cold calls. So again, cold calls, I am calling people for the first time. I have not talked to them before. They're not warm. It's one-to-one. You might be asking, how do I call people? What's the most effective way to call people? We'll get to that in 5 minutes. Just let me get through the script, and then we'll get to that. So this is the script. So it goes, hey, am I speaking with Jamie? They go, yes, who are you? Awesome, it's Joe from Estate Launch. Honestly, you've never spoken before. Can I quickly explain why I'm calling? Sure. For sure, we work with realtors in Canada, usually say the city there, to get them 3 guaranteed listings on a complete low-risk pay and results basis. Can I quickly explain how we do that in about 20 seconds of your time? Sure. We have a 2-step process. The first step is we actually generate the lead. As you know, when it comes to lead generation, a lot of the leads are just low quality and time wasters, and sometimes not even real. So that's why we do have a second step that just qualifies all the leads, books them in as an appointment in your calendar so they can buy and sell through you. Does that make sense? They say yes, hopefully. I was wondering if you'd be available over the next few days to hop on a quick 15-minute Zoom call. I'd be happy to go over some client results and how this new system can actually generate tons of new revenue for you. Would you potentially be open to that? And as soon as the prospect says yes, I always ask, just in case, by chance, are you the sole decision maker when it comes to making a decision? I'll get to that in a second when I ask them that, right? So then, they'll hopefully say yes. Great, you're all booked in. Would there be any reason you wouldn't be able to show for your meeting on Tuesday by chance? Just asking because we do have 5 realtors in your area trying to book in this week, and I'd really like to have you for your spot first. And they go, no show. No, I will show. So let's go over this. Why do I say things I do? Why in that tonality? Let's go over it. So, hey, am I speaking with the name realtor? It's a very, very casual opening. Doesn't seem too salesy, kind of salesy, but something not suspicious we can open with. So awesome. So here's the really, really good one. Honestly, we've never spoken before, but can I quickly explain why I'm calling? That's not salesy at all. Because 99% of the time, they'll say yes. Most people do not get hung up on here. They'll say yes. Because they're like, yeah, you can explain. I don't know you. Don't know who you are. I'd like to explain why you're calling. And then literally then, you just pitch them. Like, pitch them. And this is where you're going to have most resistance is right here. Transparently. Most resistance is going to be right here. Because you're straight up just pitching them. So, notice how I say we work with realtors. That's exactly who you're calling. Again, this script is for realtors. You can edit this as much as you want for your niche. I'm not telling you to go into real estate. This is just my script from my agency. So feel free to change anything you would like. Just keep the same idea. I really like the opener, so I wouldn't change that. But anything else here, you can just edit out and change to your niche specifically. So we state the person we work with in the city to get them whatever result you're getting your niche on a complete low risk pay and results basis. Notice how I say low risk. Again, value equation. Come back to that. We're minimizing the risk, and pay and results is also minimizing the risk. Can I quickly explain why I'm doing that? Can I do that in about 20 seconds of your time? It's always good to say exactly the amount of time it's going to take when you're calling out someone or talking to someone, right? 20 seconds is not a lot of time. So if you left it open, can I quickly explain how we do that? Then they might think it's 5 minutes, they might think it's 2 minutes, they might think it's 10 minutes. So by saying 20 seconds of your time, it's 20 seconds. That's all we need. And some people might joke and go, yeah, as long as it's 20 seconds. But that's better than getting a no. So, perfect. And then say, sure, we have a 2-step process. This is honestly something you can edit. Something you can edit. This is probably the most editable one, if I was you. If in your niche, whatever niche you're in. So, this is tailored to real estate. And real estate people have really big problems with lead quality and lead generation companies scamming them with really bad leads. So that's why I actually clarify that my leads are high quality and pre-handle that as much as I can. So this line, if you were to take away one thing from this video, is look at what your niche struggles with, whatever you're pitching them or surrounding it. Why can't they get that result? Is it something holding them back? Something they struggle with daily? Is it just people calling them all the time? I don't know what your niche struggles with because I'm not in your niche. Probably not, unless you're in real estate. But put whatever your niche struggles with in this line and make it attractive. Because if there's something that just in your niche that they really struggle with, and you can just really combat and get them interested from this line because they've never heard someone solve that problem and it's really novel to them, then they're going to really, really like that. And there's actually a module in this course where I'll actually walk you through deeply understanding your niche and really knowing their persona. I would recommend, if you can, go through that after this, come back, and then probably edit this paragraph to what you think they're struggling with the most. So you can just do a little edits, or you can just leave it. Up to you. But I'll leave it with you guys there. I trust you guys. I was wondering if you're available next few days. So notice again, I give a time frame. 15-minute Zoom call. I also say going over some client results and how the system can generate tons of new revenue. Everybody wants more revenue, and I just leave it to that because everybody's usually interested in that. Client results, because I actually go over client results, and again, we're leveraging social proof and saying that we have client results, and they want to see what other results the clients are getting, so they're interested again. And I always say the next few days, so I didn't include this in the doc, but also take this lesson from it. don't book people out. Book people as close as possible as you can to the day you're calling them. The farther you book out from cold calling, the higher likelihood there is for them to no-show the meeting. So if it's Tuesday right now, I'm booking people for Saturday, that's really risky because it's so far out. I'm not saying you can't. If that's the only day they're available, then sure. But if it was Tuesday, today is Saturday that I was booking them for, I'd say, yeah, so I actually do have some openings tomorrow at 10 a.m., whatever the time you have open, or Wednesday at X time. Is there any time that would work for you around tomorrow the next day? So just honestly, whenever they say a really far out date, try to get it sooner as possible. If they cannot do that soon possible date, then again, move it and just take the one that they have because it's better than no meeting still. I was wondering if you're, so client results and then the sole decision maker. So I'll be making a sales course soon, but we want people who are the sole decision maker. What that means is it the person that makes a decision to the business or not? Because if they're not the sole decision maker and they get on this call that we're trying to sell them something, they're always going to have to think about it and talk to the person that makes the decisions. So we want them on the call there so they can decide if they're interested or not. Because we don't want any delay. We want to close them on that call. So book them in and then mention, great, you're all booked in. And this one is really just creating urgency and scarcity in actually them showing up to the meeting. So I'd recommend anybody who's getting into business and watching this, read Influence by Robert Cialdini. This is scarcity and urgency. So scarcity is when there's a limited number of things that are actually available, right? So I say there's 5 realtors in your area this week, and would like to have your spot first because we only have one spot. So scarcity. Another person might take it. We don't know. So it's encouraging them to book. If I was doing urgency, I would say, yeah, I would only have this actually offer available for the next 6 days. So I was wondering if there's a time in the next 6 days you're available. That would be urgency. So urgency is time-based, not available after a certain time. Scarcity is there's X amount of things available left. There's only X amount of spots left of this thing. Then usually they go, no, I will show. So right here, I did create a cold call objection handling doc. Let's open it here. And I call it the objection handling Bible because I want to provide as much value to you guys as I can. And I will be actually looking in the school group community to see your cold call objections. And I'll make a tag on the school group community showing that you can just click and then do a post. And it'll go under that selection. And I'll actually edit this document and give the objection handles to every single objection that comes up. If you don't know what objection is in sales or cold calling, it's just them saying a reason why they don't want to do it. They're objecting to it. That's very simple. So I'll be handling all of them. So do your post. I'll be handling all of these things. So let me quickly go over why objections are really valuable in cold calling, because that can make you a lot more money and sign a lot more clients. So at each step of the way right here, you might have an objection that comes up. Every single time there is a gap or a response by them, there's a potential objection that comes up. And each objection is obviously stopping us from getting the meeting. So the more we handle, the more meetings we'll get, and the more money we'll make. You'll notice for each niche, there's much different objections that come up when you're cold calling. So for real estate, it's like, I got 10 of these calls today already. For gyms, it might be something different. I'm not too familiar. So you'll notice with each niche, there's about 10 objections that come up, and the only 10 objections. And 1 million cold calls, you'll get one that's very different, and there's some really weird reason why they can't book the meeting. But when they say no, we want to handle as many as we can, many objections as we can, because we'll make more money and we'll get more service. So that's why I want us to handle them. One more thing on objections is a lot of them are what we call smoke screens. Smoke screen objection is from sales. Just think of a smoke screen in like a supervillain movie, and they smoke screen and they run out of the scenario, or whatever, a crime movie. It's that. It's them saying, "Oh, sorry, I'm busy right now. I don't have time. We'll see you later." Hang up. Sorry, I'm busy that day. Can't do it anymore. Hang up. So what a smokescreen objection is just something that they're putting up to shield them from your service, and they just want to leave. They just want to get off the call. When it's not really the actual objection. Because if it's an actual objection that we can reason with them and logic with them about, then we can handle it. But most of the time it's a smokescreen. So as an example, it's funny. Realtors will say, not interested, but they're not interested because of something else, but they're just not telling us. They just want to get off the frickin' call. So what I tell people to do is, if someone says not interested, go, yeah, completely understand, so why wouldn't you be interested in getting 3 more meetings? Then you ask why, until each why digs down a deeper problem until you get to the actual problem. Maybe the why that they ask them if they're not interested will get them to the actual objection. And then you handle that, and they book the meeting. But sometimes you have to go like, why? And then there's the objection. So there might be like 2 smoke screens. And this might be a bit complicated for you right now if you're a beginner. But you'll understand what I mean at a certain point. And at least the most helpful thing for you here is if someone is really giving an objection in the cold call, just put in the school group, and then I will keep updating this document. Alright, so let's go down here. So now we actually have to figure out how to scrape and call leads. So in your niche, you have to find lists of people in your niche to get their number, then import into a CRM, and then call them. So what I've done is put a tutorial on the program we'll use. And this is for Go High Level. This is how to import leads into a Go High Level CRM. This is what we'll use to call. So you can do that. And then Instant Data Scraper is the extension that we'll use to actually scrape the leads, then to import into the CRM, which is our Go High Level account right here. So after that, again, you'll have to install Instant Data Scraper. It's an extension. I've linked it. Just go here. And then if this loads, and then you'll click Add to Chrome, and then start scraping. And I would, if you need help with Instant Data Scraper, how to use it, it's quite simple. I would just look for a tutorial on YouTube. It will take 2 minutes to learn. Super easy. And then that's it for cold calling. I hope that was helpful. So next is cold email. These are some openers, right? So with an email, there's subject line, there's copy, and that's pretty much it. I gave you some subject lines to use, and then I gave you my exact body copy of the script that I recommend using. So I would just pick one about cold email here, up to you. This is just something to encourage them to click on the email and grab their attention. This is, again, pattern disrupt. Something we want to get them interested in, right? So get them to open the email, and then after they open the email, we want to actually pitch them something they'll want to be pitched to, something that they're interested in. So this is a body copy. Hello, first name. Just wondering if you'd be open to more X thing. I have an exclusive opportunity that can generate a minimum of, boom. Again, complete zero risk payment results basis. Let me know if you'd be interested, and we can have a quick chat. Best name. Again, coming back to the tenants, clear CTA, a solid script that leverages the value equation. Done. Perfect. So that's a cold email system. If you need help setting up cold email, I'm not going to go into too much detail because I feel like we have more important things to move on to. But I have actually linked a Instantly cold email guide, right? So this is from Instantly themselves. Instantly is a software that I actually use for my own cold emails, and that was the script I used for cold email. This is exactly how to do everything. It shows you how to create a campaign, how to add leads, how to scrape leads, email sequences, adjust all the settings, pretty much everything. So go through that. I've also linked Instantly AI, so you can create an account. I believe that Instantly is $20 to $30 a month, unless they've increased the price. But it's worth it because you can get tons of clients from it, and that's just $30 a month when you can be signing $10,000 a month in clients very soon with the program. So really good ROI. I just put an affiliate link. If you guys enjoy the course or anything like that and want to support me, you can sign up instantly through my affiliate link. I would appreciate it. If not, no worries whatsoever. But yep, that's the scripts I use. That's how to cold call. Again, if you start cold calling and get objections that you don't know how to handle, put them in the school. I'll put a tag in the community. Actually, let's go to school real quick. I'll show you exactly how to do the tags. I'm going to add it right after this call, but when you go to do post, go to category, and I'll add exactly the cold call objection document, right? And then you just tag that, and then put the objection, and then I'll start filling in this sheet and handling all the objections that you need to be handled. So, thank you, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next module. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. And this module is on decreasing no-shows and actually just setting up your Calendly. So Calendly is a software where you book appointments on that you can take sales calls on. And it's the one I recommend. There's a few other appointment booking softwares that you can take appointments on. This is just the one I use for my agency, so I'm going to give you exactly the configuration on how to set everything up. Everything's in this Google Doc. I'll be walking you through it, and also I just have it on the side right here, so I'll be flipping through back and forth from this tab and this tab, just walking you through how to set everything up. So if you don't know what a no-show is when someone books a sales call with you and your agency, and you confirm it, and they just don't show. And these are things we want to avoid because it's an hour time slot in our calendar that is absolutely annoying to just have people ghosting you and not showing up to the actual meeting itself. So how do we prevent that? Let's get into it. So for the event name, you're going to create an event on Calendly, and you'll get into it, and it's going to look something like this. And you're going to click Create Event, and you'll click one-on-one call because it's going to be you and the prospect, and just set that up. Then next you'll have this page right here. So this is not set in stone in terms of the name of the call. Just use your discretion on it. Don't do anything absolutely stupid or something that's not related to your niche or the call itself. I just like recommending something just super simple, like the name of your agency, then growth call, or name of the agency, demo call, right? So when I had my agency running, it was named Estate Launch Growth Call, right? Because a growth call is actually referring to growing their real estate business, and that's all it actually was, right? So you'll name it growth call, demo call, listing acquisition call, or like outcome acquisition call, anything that might get them interested in showing up more because of the name of the call. It's intriguing. Don't overcomplicate this. Should take you 5 minutes, right? So then you'll put the time to 45 minutes. I'll explain why you do that. So you go into event details, click 45 minutes, go into why again in 1 second. And I like editing the location and putting it on Zoom, right? So I have two options right here. You can use Zoom or you can use Google Meet. I like using Zoom. I like the software. I prefer it over Google Meet. That's just me. Either one works and should be around the same show up rate with either software, so that is not a big deal. I wouldn't worry about that too much. Just pick one, whatever you like better, and try that out. Description. I'm going to give you my full template for my real estate business that worked for me, again, getting me to $40K a month. So I just gave you it right here, right? So let's copy this and I'll show you how it looks like. You'll put it in the description/instructions section, right? So I start off with, here's what we'll get from our demo call. I'll edit it so you can do it along with me. And then I have crafting your personal roadmap. We'll dive into your most significant challenges, create a detailed roadmap from your growth strategy, and try to detect any bottlenecks in your business. Then we'll do your plan, encompass how you can build a predictable system, and then main benefit of your niche, and then every single month to become a seven-figure realtor if you're not already, right? So what does this mean? It is not very hard. This should take you 10 minutes to set up. Just a description that they'll find intriguing to get on the call, and just a quick overview of what the call is going to look like, right? So this is generally how the call goes, right? We ask a bunch of questions about the bottlenecks in their business to see what's actually holding them back. We get a hold of their current situation and how we can help them, and then we give them a plan, and then we pitch the service. That's a very, very simple overview, simplified overview of a sales call. I'm sure I'll be making a sales module, if it's not already in the school. That will be coming very, very soon, elaborating on the sales process. But anyway, in summary, it's a very, very simple, high-level overview of what the sales call is going to look like, right? So this is for a real estate business. Again, I'm saying seven-figure realtor if you're not already. I'm saying resulting in a growing real estate business every single month, right? So you can just change this out. You can just not use this word for word. You can if you want. I wouldn't recommend it. I would put in your simple twist off of this and just kind of mimicking mine, but then making your own copy. So don't copy it, but then get ideas for you to use. So then we have openings for only whatever weekly limits of clients you're taking on each week. And this is, could you be one of them? The reason I do that is just, again, we went over scarcity. If you don't know what that is, should be gone over in the last module, is the amount of spots you have open for your service and disclosing that for the prospect to know. So if you can only take on 5 clients a week, put that in here. If you're starting off and you only have time to onboard a certain amount of prospects a week, put that, right? So I genuinely just stated how many spots my VA can handle for my service delivery every week, right? And then I said, could you be one of them? Not very hard, just giving them a number of how many people we take on every single month, and then letting them know, because it causes them to actually maybe want to get on the call more, knowing that there's only a certain amount of spots each week, and if they miss the call, they might not be able to claim their spot, right? Very simple. Then at the end, please all contributing decision makers to the call, your real estate business on the call. Sorry. So this is just saying, again, we want them to close, hopefully, on the first call. So we want all the decision makers of their business to be on the call with us so they can make the decision if they want to partner with us or not on the call. I just have a little quick reminder at the bottom here, just letting them know about that. So you have the description now, you have the time, all that good stuff. So what you'll do is click Save and Close. Then next you go into scheduling settings. This is where it's a bit tricky if you don't know Calendly. Do not worry about this, right? So date range, we want 3 to 5 days in the future. So let's put 4 days in the future, right? So this is super important because if you put 30 days out, which I do not recommend doing, people can book for 30 days out and then they'll most likely forget that you even have a call with them. And again, the longer you book people off, the less likely they are to show. So immediately when I cut my show rate, immediately when I started actually collapsing immediately when I started only making it 4 days out from my calendar, I noticed a massive show rate change, actually going higher in terms of show rate, right? So it worked very well. So I recommend 4 to 5 days, probably 3 to 5 days, depending on how many sales calls you're booking, because if you only have 3 days and you're booking all of it up, I would actually expand it to 4 or 5 days. So I would just put that date range right here. And then what I did here is I did not take sales calls on Saturdays and Sundays. So just go into here, edit the hours, go into your calendar, and just block off Saturdays and Sundays because I did notice a decrease in show rate in terms of Saturdays and Sundays for my sales calls. So I leave this alone right here with my actual timing, right? I leave this alone and pretty much make it available at all times. But the really good thing to note here is you'll go to, actually, let's just open Calendly right here, and we'll go into integrations. Then next you'll see a spot for Google Calendar. I think it's somewhere here, Google Calendar, and then you'll just link your Google Calendar. And then what you have to do, what I'd recommend to do, is just schedule yourself out to when you're available for the sales calls. And book in when you sleep, book in when you're eating your food, book in when you're working out, book in when you need to work on different things, and then have the rest for sales calls. And then they'll just book when you're free on your calendar. Very simple. You don't have to change any of the scheduling things here. Just block it off in your Google Calendar, and then when you're open, they'll book it. Buffer time, depending on how soon you would like your sales calls or how soon of a notice you'd like. I like putting about 4 hours. In terms of buffer time, what does this mean? This is the time between your sales calls, that little gap that is allowed, right? So can people book right in after your sales calls? Or are you going to give yourself a little space to actually get settled and then go on the next one? What I like doing is doing 15 minutes after each event, because our call is 45 minutes, but if you're trying to close in the call, and sometimes they do go over 45 minutes, you do have that extra buffer room, and as well you just have a few minutes of cognitive rest before talking to the next prospect, so you're not talking to prospects for about 8 hours straight. So I like that 15-minute buffer time. It's very, very useful. Minimum notice, this is again up to you, but I like putting 4 to 8 hours. I personally had it, I believe, at 4 hours, so if someone booked in, they couldn't do it from 4 hours from now, right? Anything before 4 hours. Because I just like having some time in between me knowing about the sales call so I can plan and just have an idea of my day. Usually people don't book between the same day. It's not very common, but I like putting that just in case you're running ads or something like that and people are booking in. You surprise you with a minute or with the sales call in 30 minutes. We don't like doing that. I don't like having those booked in my calendar in 30 minutes. Time zone display. Use the invitees. What that means is when they're booking a call on your Calendly page, it will actually show up on the calendar as their time zone and not yours, so they don't have to translate it. It just makes things much easier, right? Time zone increments. This means how much time are they allowed to book on the calendar. So if it's a 60-minute increment, which I recommend, it would be 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1, 2, 3. If it was 30 minutes, it would be 10, 10:30, 11, 11:30, 12, 12:30, etc., etc., right? I like 1 hour because the big problem you have, if they book on a 30-minute time period, then the rest of the day is kind of messed up, because then there's kind of 30-minute time periods and there's kind of there's 1:15 that can pop up since it's 45 minutes. It's just a mess. I like doing 60 minutes so they have a spot on every hour of the day, easy to book on, etc. Super easy. All right, so let's go to the next one, which is the invitee questions. Let's find it real quick. So this is the default invitee questions when Calendly is actually a Calendly event is made. So it goes name, email, invitees, add guests. I like turning that off. Doesn't really matter. And I also like deleting that question. Then, so all that matters is getting a name, email, phone, and then asking if you're the sole decision maker. Again, we want to know that all the calls, all the people on the call are going to close. And if they say no, not the main decision maker, you can just talk to them and get them to schedule a new time when both of them can be on the call. Very easy. So that's the only reason I asked that. So we know that going in for any closers on the team, or even for you if they're coming on the call and you don't know if they're decision maker or not. Super easy. So again, we just want a name, we want an email, and then we also want a phone number. In terms of phone number, you go add new question. Then I like going phone number, then you'll do phone number, then boom. Easy. Then save and close. Then in terms of reminders are unbelievably important. I have used so many configurations when it comes to reminders. So many. It took me way too long. These are the ones that I have found work the best when it comes to getting people to actually show up to the meeting. Getting it from about 40% show rate to over 60 to 70%. And for real estate, that's quite a good show rate. So that changed things massively for me. Next thing. So how do you increase show rate other than the reminders I just showed you, and the email reminders, and the copy, and all that stuff? Highest ROI thing is simply calling the prospects to confirm the meeting. And that's super simple, but it works wonders calling them and reminding them, because sometimes they have their phone off or the text reminders didn't go through for some reason. They don't check their email, they don't check their phone, and a call helps immensely, right? So two things I do is, one, if the prospect has not confirmed on email or sent you back something confirming the meeting, I call them the night before, and I usually use something like this script. You don't have to use this exactly, just a super simple template for you. It goes, hey Mark, this is name from agency name. Just spoke the other day about us getting you new listings, let's say. Just confirming we're to go tomorrow at X time to go over a process. And they'll say, yep, perfect, I'll see you then. Then say perfect, and I'll see you then, and hang up. If there's no answer to that, then drop them an SMS on their cell phone, and also an email. And then hopefully they will say yes to that. That's what we want. That's what we prefer. And if they don't respond to that, we want to call them again at the morning of the sales call. So if they actually confirm the night before, do not call them. Just leave them alone. Just assume they're coming because they confirmed. Perfect. Again, if they don't, call them, and then also SMS and email again. You might think this is overkill. It seems like it, but people really just do not check their phone and really need reminding and confirming about the meetings. So go through this, use everything from the sheet, and then this will help you a lot with getting people to actually show up to the meetings, and I hope this helped you in some way. Perfect. I'll see you next video. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Leverage Acquisition Module, what is this, 4? Something like that? Yeah, perfect. Welcome back, and what we're going to be going over is signing clients with zero experience or testimonials or anything like that. So, yes, just to preface all of this, signing clients, your first client, is, in my opinion, the hardest part of your SMMA journey. So if you've already signed your first few clients, amazing. If you haven't, this doc is for you to make everything much easier. It is still going to be very difficult making that transparent with you. People don't see that you got anyone results, and it is very hard for you to sign them, but this is going to hopefully ease things up for you signing your first few clients. This is made for you, right? So if you need to refine your offer as a beginner, go back to Module 1. This is for after you made your offer. Perfect. So on a sales call, we'll be going through a sales call script on future modules. Don't worry about that. But usually what people do is do a verbal sales call and pretty much show no slideshow a lot of the time. Some agencies use slideshows, but it's mainly just to demonstrate the service, right? So what I recommend you to do, if you're a beginner, you make a slideshow, and then instead of showing the client results that you've gotten people, you show your exact system that you have in place, right? This can be sketched out in a Miro, as shown here in one of my YouTube videos, or even a slideshow that they can just visually see the process. By walking them through the process, you have the opportunity to show authority and confidence by talking about your niche and your service at a high-level perspective, making the client assume, just by the way you're talking, that you've done this multiple times before, and leave a high-value impression with the prospect. So why is this important? Because if you position yourself in a certain way, even without testimonials, you will sign clients. Because just by the way you're talking, they can perceive if you know your stuff or if you don't. If you're walking them through a whole slideshow or a Miro or explaining your process, and they trust that you know the service very well at a high level, and what they do and their struggles, it will rub off on them, and they will sense that you know your stuff, right? So walk them through the process instead of showing the client results. So just replace it with the process. So a lot of authority is built right there. So I'm going to put a reversal on this, and I'm not saying this is not valuable. It's very valuable. But there's also a saying in sales that says to sell the ends and not the means. So very, very common. It touches on the concept that prospects really just don't care about how you get them any results. They just want the result itself. So when we're doing sales, we always want to sell a very results-oriented service. Because if let's use an example. If you're selling a Facebook ads one-on-one course, does it sound very interesting? Maybe if you need to learn service delivery as an agency owner, maybe. Or use something like, I'm going to sign you 100 high-ticket clients in 100 days with my client acquisition one-to-one program. Then you'll go, how the hell do you do that? I honestly don't care how you do it. If you're guaranteeing it and talking about it, it sounds way better. Doesn't that sound better? Because we're selling the end results and giving it a nice name and making it shiny versus the Facebook ads 101 that sounds like an ebook that you would buy from a dollar store for $1. So that's just a positioning thing, right? Position yourself in one way, you look stupid. Position yourself in another way, you sound high authority and a high level service. So with this, you need to do both at the same time, right? We're actually showing them the service to build the authority. But for the rest of the sales call, we need to actually be very, very results oriented and talking less about the service and more the end result and how they're going to feel after they get the end result. So make it very results oriented other than this one exception, which is walking you through this, right? Because the reason I'm putting this note in, it's very off topic with the whole slide, but honestly it's very important because I don't want the beginners to think when you're on sales, the only thing you're doing is explaining the process. Because you're not. You're selling the end, not the means. But you're just building trust for about 3 minutes in your presentation by showing exactly what you do to get them to believe you, right? So again, I'm contradicting myself a little bit here, but this is the best way I have found to actually sign your first client, is doing a little bit of both. So it's not binary here. It's not one or the other. We're kind of combining them in a little bit, in a little way, in little ways, but it still applies. So again, show your system in the Miro, and immediately go back to selling the ends in your sales process and not the means. Okay, next point. Don't copy agencies or even deceive prospects. If you're at the beginning stage and learning your service delivery systems, don't copy massive agencies who are much bigger than you. By copying them, you're setting yourself up for failure. So if I was to copy a state AI right now, and I'm entering the real estate niche, and I want to copy their offer and copy what they're guaranteeing, because if they can do it, I can do it, you're setting yourself up for massive failure. The only exception to this is if you already have a pre-built system for service delivery that someone's going to teach you that they already know how to do it, this thing. This is why I always recommend mentors. This is a conversation for a different day. But if you're going to get a mentor and they have a service delivery system, that's when you can copy their offer because you know it. If you're a beginner, have no idea how to deliver a service, and need to learn everything for the first time, and you're going to mess up big time, probably the first few prospects, you're going to learn your way through failure and fail your way to success, then don't copy big agencies because you'll get a really bad reputation off the bat. And again, I use an example here, playing a piano piece as a professional piano player and promising it will sound the same when I've never played it before. It does not sound the same, not the same thing. Expectation setting within business is absolutely key, right? So if we're going to lie to them off the bat saying we're getting them X results in X amount of days and we have not got that result and we're doing an absolute horrible job, this is horrible. It's a really, really bad start. So as I mentioned in the beginning, it's always easier to sell a performance offer than upfront cost offer as a beginner. So again, if you have not watched the offer creation module, go back to module 1. Super important, right? Next thing you can do to signing prospects when you have no testimonials is get results for yourself using your own systems. And I'm going to give you an example that worked wonders for me and my agency. So in the last module, we actually talked about setting up the reminders and setting up the emails to our prospects through Calendly. So this is exactly what I said almost every sales call to the prospects to prove my system worked. I'd say just like you got the reminders for this meeting, every single person that books an appointment with you through the messages in our systems will get these messages exactly the same like you did. And notice how that actually worked and got you to show up to the meeting. This proves that your system actually works because you're using the same system as them and they actually use the system to get on the call. Right? So they will believe you because it actually worked for them and they got reminded by your systems that they'll be using. So next, this is a diagram about prospect using the system, making money, versus you using the system and also making money. It's the same thing. It's authority because they see you doing it. They're going to be the same way, and they're going to hopefully make money because they're going to assume that. One more example is I was working with a coaching client, helping him out, and he's doing a paying results offer for coaches, and he was doing a short-form content offer. So he's making short-form content for coaches. I told him to use his evidence performing well with his short-form content, and he mentioned to prospects that he runs 3 Instagrams with 15K followers with his short-form content strategy. And here they are. Because he had 3 Instagrams with 50K followers that he wasn't leveraging in the sales process. When it's the same system that he's using as he's delivering. And he's done 15K followers 3 times. It's ridiculous. So leverage that in your sales process. If you've done something and it succeeded, and you're doing the same thing for them, and it's going to succeed because you know it's going to succeed, mention the things you've done before, doing the same thing. Because you got those results already. Again, this proves your systems work without having any actual clients. And this will create an evidence feedback loop where your prospects get attracted to book for your service from the service itself, which is massive proof that it works. Next is you have to build a high value perception. You can build so much trust through free content by solving problems. Again, law of reciprocity, if you don't know what this is, if you give someone a gift, they feel naturally obligated to give something back. A lot of the time, they will feel bad for getting a gift on one end when they're not reciprocating that. They're not giving a gift to the other person. Same way with free content, to be honest. If you're posting free content and giving away your whole agency's, let's say, structure, how to structure offers, service delivery, and they're watching for free on YouTube and they've seen all your videos and they've learned so much from you, but they're not giving you anything back, they feel naturally obligated to give something back and actually take action on something. So if you're posting free content on the internet for your niche and solving problems, they will actually ask for things, right? This is a give ratio that Alex Hormozi talks about, right? With Alex Hormozi content, you rarely see call to actions in any of his videos. This is because his strategy when it comes to content is give everything away, and then they just take action and ask for things. This is actually proven to me by when I was uploading YouTube videos about 6 months ago on my YouTube channel, and I wasn't even planning on selling anything whatsoever. And I was posting so much organic content and solving problems for these people that they started actually DMing me mentorship requests, asking me to mentor them when I wasn't pitching anything. I was just posting videos, here's what I do, have a good day, bye. Right? I wasn't doing call to actions in my first few videos. And I was so surprised that people actually wanted to work with me because I didn't think I was that important. I'm just a guy who's building a business and just kind of documenting it. And then people saw that I was documenting it and they wanted to be similar to me in building a business and ask for mentorship. And I didn't even pitch them on it. That's how easy it is. So coming back to the topic, if you have no testimonials, if you have no social proof or anything like that, build trust by posting organic content in that niche, solving people's problems. This might be difficult when you're new to a niche, or you don't know anything about the niche, because how are you going to solve people's problems with it if you don't know anything about it? But do as much research as you can. There will be a worksheet in this module in the next few videos walking you through how to learn exactly who your prospects are and what they need. So after doing that, learn as much as you can about your prospects and the niche and their problems, and try to solve them, right? Start posting organic content. I'd recommend this, by the way. It's not mandatory. It's just if you want to build trust on the internet online and have prospect booked into your sales call, and then see you have a very, very high value perception and authority and trust in your niche from the YouTube, highly recommend it, right? This is not as necessary if you already have testimonials, but if you're watching this, you probably don't. I know if you're a beginner and you're not used to making videos, you might suck in the beginning. I sucked. A lot of people did. It's, again, making videos is a skill. It's not just something you're born with, and the ability to articulate your thoughts and post things that people like is not just something you're born with. Usually, it's usually a skill. So again, the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. But if you want to build lots of trust and have them trust you instead of actually testimonials, start solving the problems on YouTube. So I did a example here where the more content they consume from you, if you have valuable content, the warmer the lead gets. So if you don't know what lead warmth means, I'll explain it. A prospect that is 0% sold on your service, who doesn't know you, and you're reaching out to them for the first time, it's a cold lead. Again, cold outreach is reaching out to someone who doesn't know us. The more they consume our content, the warmer the lead gets until a point where they're warm enough, where it's a warm lead and easy to sell. So the more content they consume and the more problems you solve for them, the more trust they have, the more familiarity they have with you and your service, and the more interest they will have in it. So again, more content consumed, the warmer the lead is, the easier it is for them to buy something. An action step: post some free content in your niche, solving their problems, lots of trust, lots of authority. Really recommend it. Really, really recommend it if you have no testimonials. All right. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next module.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to this module. And this module is called How to Build a Pre-Call Video to Pre-Handle All Objections. And I cannot explain to you the importance of this module, right? If there's something that has skyrocketed my agency, the quickest possible thing, like one thing, it would be building the pre-call video that I currently have. It made me so much money, it is unreal. So I'm going to tell you how to build one in this module. So, very important. So why build a pre-call video? It's the first touch point with the prospect on the sales call, so they often don't trust you or know anything about your company. It's rough to sell things to prospects who have no idea who you are or what the hell you do. So what the pre-call video does off the bat is makes it unbelievably clear what you do for what avatar. So the prospects will already know exactly all the details about your service. They will already know who you are, the history of your company. They will already really be familiar with you, so when you're hopping on the sales call with them, they already know you as a person and know your personality and are very comfortable with you. So it just breeds a lot of familiarity in terms of the sales process and makes things immensely easier. So I've done a little diagram here, right? So this is not perfect. It's just something that you can visualize because I like visualizing certain diagrams and things like this. So this is selling with a pre-call video without a pre-call video, right? So selling without a pre-call video is, hey, book appointment, reminders get sent. They show up to the sales call. So you're selling from a cold lead who is 0% sold. There's no idea who you are, no idea what your company does, anything, to someone who's 100% sold. So you have to do 100% of selling. Again, this is just an analogy. It's not perfect. With the pre-call video, you're selling cold lead, right? They get the reminders. They view the pre-call video, 10 to 11 minutes.
Again, from the last few modules, you'll know that the more content prospects watch, the more familiar they are with you, and the more they get sold if you do a good job of delivering value. So you sell them up until about like 75% mark, right? So pretty much in my pre-call video, I disclosed absolutely everything that they need to know and what I would tell them on the sales call, except the price. So they know everything about your agency and you. They just need to know the price and get sold on the price. So a lot of my sales call was just line of questioning, really just knowing their current situation, where they at, building comfort with them, seeing where they want to go to, and then just walking them through the process one more time and then pitching them on the price, and that's done. It made a crazy big difference, right? So it removes a lot of hassle that you have to do for about 45 minutes every sales call, just really showing them the process and them asking questions the whole time. And the best part is, if they don't like your product and they don't need it, they don't even need to show up for the sales call. They can just cancel and tell you that they don't need it. Because if it's not a fit, you've already disclosed everything with your program, then they just cancel the call and then you save yourself an hour of your time. Well, if you have someone who isn't a fit and you get them on the call and you take them through the whole sales process until at the end they say it's not a fit, you just wasted 45 minutes of your energy just pitching someone on something they don't even need. Right? So it's fantastic. So let's go down here. So what I noticed when I implemented this pre-call video, that every single prospect that was closing watched the pre-call video in full and then hopped on the call. Which I was like, wow, so there's no prospects that are closing from the cold lead? So there's no prospects that are closing who didn't watch the pre-call video? I was like, wow, let's make the pre-call video mandatory to get on a sales call. So that's what I did. So I literally made it mandatory for them to watch the pre-call video, or we would not even get into the sales call. So how does that work? You might ask me, that sounds rude, and how does that work when you're on the call? So all I did in the sales call, when the prospects get on, I build rapport, ask them how their day is, how the week's going, how business has been going good, perfect, build rapport, 2 minutes. And I go, yeah, just so Nancy, did you have time to watch the pre-call video this week that was just sent to your email by chance? And they would go, yes. Then I'd move on to the sales process, say perfect. They said no, then they usually they always assume that they did something wrong. So they usually go something like, oh, it's been a busy week, you know how it goes. And then I go, yeah, completely understand. It's we're all busy, right? So completely understand. So yeah, what I usually do in these case scenarios is the pre-call video is just about 10 minutes long. So what I'll actually do is I'll just mute my mic here and I'll send you the pre-call video just in the chat here on Zoom. And then what you can do is just, I don't want to pitch you on something that you actually don't think is a fit and something that you don't find interesting or need. So if you could just watch the pre-call video for about 10 minutes and then come back on the sales call and just tell me if you think it's something you'd be interested in or not. And then if so, we can just kind of move on. I can ask some questions about your business so I can see if I can actually help you as a fit with your real estate business. And if not, we can just head out and we can move on. So notice how I framed that and I made it appeal to their interests too. So I haven't had one prospect get mad at me saying that transparently. If you frame it correctly and you're nice about it, they will not have any questions about it. They will watch it on the actual Zoom call and they won't care. Right, so they won't care at all. So I made the prospect, all in all, in recap, made the prospect watch the pre-call before getting on the call every single time because I knew they were closing. The only ones that were closing were the ones that watched the pre-call video in full. Perfect. So you might be asking, okay, got it. How do I send the pre-call? So this is a Zapier automation. Zapier has a really cool AI now. If you don't know what Zapier is, it's a automation tool that is really just connects websites and really has good automations going for it. So I typed in AI to create this workflow. They have an AI, it's like ChatGPT. You can just put in a prompt and it'll create some workflows for you, automations. Very easy. So the reason I did it is because the Calendly confirmation for me was usually that they just didn't think it was legit and authentic, and it wasn't from my email sometimes. So unless Calendly has updated this anyway, I always did this initial email through Zapier, so it went straight to the email from my personal email. So it looked personal. I would just say, if you have any questions, reply back to me. I'll respond, etc. Right. So this is the exact email that I used to send to prospects before the call. So it go, hey, prospect name, it's Joe from Estate Launch here. Stoked to confirm your spot for whatever the name of Calendly is. Sent you one last email. Before we dive in, please hit play on a quick must-watch video at pre-call link. Answer, click ticket to claim 3 to 5 listings. And I said, regardless of market conditions during our meeting, no kidding. Why the rush? We're all about exclusivity, one realtor, one area. Yeah, so there's a few things really key here about this line. So with the pre-call video link, I said it's your ticket to claim 3 to 5 listings. Notice how I'm selling the ends and not the means here. I always want to refer back to the outcome and not anything about the service in general. Again, sell the ends, not the means. And what I also did is pre-handled an objection before they even got on the sales call. And I said, regardless of market conditions. So this is really, really, really key, because I noticed I was getting the objection a lot. In around November, December, people really not wanting to sign up because it was a slow market. It was Christmas time. People didn't want to sell their house, etc. So what I did is I actually pre-handled that objection and saying that they would get the outcome regardless of market conditions, so they'd be even more interested to get in the call. So that worked very well for us. And then at the end, again, scarcity. Others from your turf, scarcity and urgency actually. Others aligning your turf this week, don't let them snag your spot. Commit to success, see you at the meeting. So if they know there's other people lining up on sales calls this week, which we had about 8 to 12 sales calls a day at my agency, very true, they would want to show up because they think they're getting their spot taken. So it adds some competitive edge to showing up to the meeting, which is quite cool. And just one more thing, I always refer to the Law of Power by Robert Greene here. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude, right? So we're honestly not in the position of power when we're selling to people, because they have the free will and they have the choice to buy something or not. So we're asking them to buy something because we think it's a fit, etc. So they're in the position of power. So we always want to appeal to their self-interest, why they need to do this thing and why this is going to be beneficial for them. And don't ask them, no, just because I want you to buy. Obviously, if you have a mind, if you have a brain, you wouldn't ever do that just because of mercy or gratitude. But always appeal to self-interest. Notice how I'm always talking about not letting them snag your spot with your city. I'm talking about claiming 3 to 5 listings regardless of market conditions. So these are all things that are very key in terms of getting them on the sales call, and just sales in general. I found this Law of Power very, very, very nice to use. So they are more likely to help if they see something in it for themselves. You give them a compelling reason to assist you by appealing to their self-interest in the sales process. Perfect. So structuring your pre-call. Start by saying who the program is for and who it isn't for. So immediately they know if they're not a licensed realtor, if they're not a gym owner, if they're not a landscaper, then they can just click off the call and then email you back that they don't need your service or product. Introduce yourself, your company, and exactly what you do. Explain what your company solves and what they don't have to do anymore. Give all the super annoying things in your niche that's creating them lots of pain and all the problems that they have. Give all your testimonials if you have them. If you don't have any, show your system in depth, walking them through the service delivery process to build more trust in you. So just a quick overview, a few minutes. Again, we went over this last few modules about showing the service a little briefly. So show the service delivery process, workflows, follow-ups, ads, etc. Anything that looks impressive that they can refer to you as an expert on. Give a high-level overview of your program, super brief again. So what I mean by that is give a really high-level timeline. So what's going to happen for the next 4, 5, 6 weeks when you start the program? What quick wins are they going to get when they start? And at the end of the video, state your guarantee, and then don't give the price. So I've given you my own pre-call video here. Do not copy it. Do not copy it, please, because we do not want to have 20 people in the same niche using the same pre-call video, using the same outreach methods. Just take what you can from it. Notice how I phrase things. Notice how I'm structuring the video. Notice the copy. This is a very tested and proven pre-call video. I can say that because I've implemented this pre-call video very similar into many different niches now with many of my mentees that work closely to me and people that I'm living with. I've told them to use it, and I've implemented it as just a test in their business to see if it works. And it works wonders just from my experience. If there's one thing in my business, again, that made me lots of money and made my sales process so streamlined, it is this pre-call video. And there's not many courses, or there's not many people on YouTube or anything like that talking about a pre-call video. And I think it's one of the most important things that you need to do in your agency is to build so much trust. You can pre-handle so much objections. They get sold on the product before they even get on the sales call. And then when you get on the sales call, you just need to build rapport, talk them through, handle their price objections, and that's it. So, yep. That is the video. That's the module. Build your pre-call video. It's super easy. That should take you probably a day or two to build and then a day or two to record. Don't overcomplicate it, right? I was in Bali when I recorded mine. I didn't even have a professional microphone. This video I made right here isn't even with a professional microphone. It doesn't sound good at all, but it made me 40K a month. So, all right, boys. I will see you in the next module. Bye. Peace. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to this module. This is how to book appointments and bypass gatekeepers during cold calls. So why is this module so niche? Why is this so directed towards bypassing gatekeepers and not just cold calling in general? Is because the amount of questions I get surrounding bypassing gatekeepers and how annoying they are to people cold calling is unreal. So I made a whole module just dedicated to this. This video I don't want you to find very important. I want you to find this document very important because my commentary isn't going to be that valuable. It's just a little bit of theory surrounding how to bypass gatekeepers. The document itself in here with all of these, say, responses and all these things within it, like these openings without name, who's calling, responses, all these things. I basically give you the exact formula to bypass the gatekeepers when you're calling them. So, what is a gatekeeper? They serve as barriers between you and the decision maker. Mastering the skill of navigating past them is essential for successful pitching. And this doc is aimed to give you the skills to pass gatekeepers effectively. Right? So, we're going to define key terms here. A decision maker is a person who makes the decisions and can actually close with you on the sales call. A gatekeeper is someone who tries to filter out all the spam messages and the unnecessary calls that we get before putting them off to the main decision maker, like a manager. I'll use a quick example before we move on. My first and only job my whole life is I worked at a restaurant for about 2-something years, right? So I used to be a server and a host. Host starting off, they moved up to a server, and I would get about maybe 5 spam calls a day from all over the world asking for the manager. And I would be a gatekeeper, which we would call a gatekeeper. I know what an annoying guy I am being a gatekeeper. But I would filter out all the people, and I would ask what it's about, and they would try to say, let's talk to the manager, and I would keep asking them what they're calling about, and as soon as they said an opportunity regarding to the restaurant getting more money or something that just sounds sketchy or something like that, I would immediately tell them to go away and hang up on them. So this is exactly what gatekeepers are going to do to you. And we need to assume a high value status and use our wording very tactically and say certain things to get past gatekeepers. Because I am sure if a person calling me at this restaurant were to position themselves differently than what they were doing to my restaurant when they were calling me, I would have probably been not fooled. Maybe fooled or tricked is a word here. But I would have believed that they are a high value person and needed to speak to the manager. So, great. So they're able to decline and handle sales calls, but they're not prepared to deal with people who approach them as if they're reaching out to a friend. So very short sentences followed by silence can be amazingly effective. So the number one tip when it comes to gatekeepers is silence. Once you made a request, remain silent. You might think this is awkward, Joe. Why are you training me to have weird social skills? Why are you telling me to do this? You will never meet this person again, the gatekeeper. They're from somewhere all over the world. I would not care about their opinion of you. If you're a business person, you need to be prepared to deal with people judging you all of the time and making a fool out of you if you're going to fail all the time and then eventually make it. So you need to be prepared to deal with this. And if you're going to cold call and book appointments and take sales calls, you will have frightening, annoying, fearful, weird situations. So you have to get used to it. Once you made your request from the gatekeeper, remain silent and observe their reaction. Assume compliance for the gatekeeper at all times. Following your request, assume that their next move by saying something like, "I'll hold, cheers. Thanks for that." Perfect. So, as an example, you're doing cold call. Yeah, I just have a super important message from Mark. I think he's expecting me to get back to him today. I'll just hold now, cheers, while you pass me over to Mark. Thanks. Goodbye. And then the gatekeeper's gonna be like, "Oh, this guy's knows Mark, and he's gonna be, he thinks he's already speaking to him because he knows him, and he must know him really, really well. I must put some." If someone did that to me at the restaurant, I would be like, "This guy already knows Mark. He spoke with him. He has something for the. He must be friends with him. Like, he must know the manager." So assume compliance. Just talk in very short sentences, and assuming compliance is amazing. It's a very, very good tip. There is little point in trying to befriend the gatekeeper or to keep any conversations lengthy. Cold calling thrives on volume, and spending 2 to 3 minutes per call engaging with the gatekeeper is a waste of time when you can contact 5 other businesses within the same time frame. Very key. Very, very key. Cold calling thrives on volume. Again, you do have to make the cold calls that you do quality. I'm not saying you just call as much as you can and then don't make your cold calls good. I am saying that by befriending the gatekeeper, which you probably can't get past when you're talking to them for a long time, you could have called 5 other businesses and had 2 decision makers on the phone with you in that same time period. It is not worth talking to gatekeepers minutes and minutes and minutes on end and giving them your phone number to call back or any of these things. It's not worth it. So do 2 to 3 minutes per call maximum. Maximum, I'd say don't even do that. Probably 1 minute per call would be great. So yeah, they have a dual role, preventing incorrect calls and connecting the right ones. You must convey that you're the right call. Aim to make them eager to pass you on to the decision maker. So, low diagram, again, not letting you through. They will not let you through. The objective of cold calling is engage with conversation with decision makers, not merely to dial numbers or converse with gatekeepers. So take that away. Internalize that. It's not to talk to gatekeepers. It's to pitch decision makers. Your tone and demeanor is the most important here. Approach each call as if you're checking in for a friend. Create an unspoken impression. Suggest, "I should put this person through. They seem like the person I need to speak with." Don't pitch the gatekeeper. Keep your language vague, direct, and concise. I'm repeating a lot of things here that I said earlier, but it's key that you change your beliefs on these things, because these are the highest ROI beliefs to have when you're cold calling, is to not care what they think, assume compliance, talk in short sentences, position yourself as high value at all times, try to not give them that much to latch onto about your business or what you're going to provide to them. Just assume that the person knows you already, that you just need to get in contact with them and, again, assume compliance. So I am giving you a bunch of openings with the name, without the name. Then after that, they say who's calling, will you know what it's about, what is it regarding, where are you calling from. These are all very, very common responses. Like probably the top 5 most common responses are right here. So again, hi, may I speak with Mark, please? Hello, can you transfer me to Mark, please? Hi, is Mark available to take a call? Hi, it's John. I'm just returning Mark's call. Would he be available by chance? Hi there, is Mark around? Then we have without name. Hi, I'm reaching about your 3 to 5 listings that you can get this month. I just have some listings to give you. Who's the best person to speak about that? Right, so, hi, I'm regarding adding 30 members to your gym this month. I just need to talk to X person. Who would be the right person to speak about this? Ideally, the names would be amazing. But again, this can work if you position as well with that. If you say that you can, or if they say you can speak with them, ask if they run the show or are the boss. And if they aren't, it's better you speak with the owner. Again, super short sentences, assume compliance. This is how we get the business owner's name without sounding like a salesperson. So yeah, you can even combine the openings without the name. Then you can ask who runs the show or who's the boss, and then use the openings with the name, pretty much. Then assume compliance again. So super good sheet for you guys to use. It's going to be very, very beneficial for you. Gatekeepers are just something that you need to get used to dealing with. They're still annoying. I'm not saying this will work 100% of the time. I'm saying it will help you get past them more times than not going through the sheet. So, all right. See you guys in the next module.